Hello, my name is Daniel from DDCL. I'm going to create a short little video of us going through the process of explaining our contracts to our clients. I hope you enjoy this short little video, and hopefully it'll explain quite a bit about working with your particular contractor, and hopefully it's going to be us. Thank you very much. Here we go. So, I'm going to start going through a little bit of the contract here with you right now. We can fill out your name, address, and that. But the very first thing is, we need to know what the scope of work is. We just walked downstairs and you were explaining what you want done. So let's start going through that again, and we'll start talking about it. So what's the first thing we need to do?
Cut out some of the drywall so that you can work on the pipes to make sure that we get the turn-off valves parallel to each other rather than one on top of each other.
So cut out the drywall to have access to the shut-off valves.
Yeah.
And we just discussed, and I'm going to be going through the pictures here right away. There's a special white box we can put an inset into your wall that will hook up all that stuff and allow your drain to come in. Then it's all in a neat, confined area.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
And put in, I'm just going to call it white box for now, but before we go anywhere, I'm going to show you all this stuff. Is there anything else we need to do?
And you said you could put taps on the pipes that are running into the hoses to the sink.
Other line, put shut-off valves on. Okay, I'm just thinking. If it works out really well, we won't have to do any drywall work, just so you know.
Okay.
So it might be even better. I just got to think about that a little bit.
Okay.
So the next part of this is what I'm supposed to come up with a costing for this, but I have to look at the cost of the parts.
Yes.
Because we're just at the lookout stage.
And I don't want any of those gold taps that you showed on your video, in your first video.
Oh, yeah.
I just want just the basic ones.
Yeah, we'll go over the proper shut-off valves. So once I get the costing in here, then both you and I sign it off when we'll have a tentative start date and a tentative completion date of doing this project.
Okay. I have one more thing, and it's just a very minor thing. I would that you could do while you're here, and so that you would know what to look for. The drawer that I have on the floor there is from my cupboard, and what happened was the part that holds up the railing for the cupboard to go on broke, so I need a replacement on this. This was the broken part, and you can take a look at it later, and just putting in another one of those so that the railings can go into it, so I can put the drawer back in the cupboard. I would
replace part on, that'd be the kitchen cupboard?
Mm-hmm, yes.
And this is what I call going on the flow, because I have no idea yet.
Right.
So the next stage is, so when I originally come out here, we look at the job. Now, we don't know what's behind the wall. So that's where a change order would come in. If something unexpected, after we go through this original little bit here and find out the costing for the stuff, you agree to it, we sign it off. And if something comes up that's unexpected, that's where this comes in. So we just go, stop, let's deal with this. Let's come up with a costing for this.
Okay.
The other thing is payment schedule. We have to start talking about that. So once I start and I have to buy parts for it, we normally ask for about 40% for the total cost of the project, which should be able to be include for the parts.
Okay, so what you will do is you will cost out what you have on the first page.
Yeah.
That you're going to do, and then and then you would like 40% of that.
Yes.
Amount that you cost out.
Yeah.
And then there could be, in the change, there could be something else that
Yeah.
comes up.
But for this small project, we're not talking about a house project, we're talking about a small project. Normally it's the amount to start with and when it's done. Those are the two times. So if
Right.
it's done, if we agree to do it tomorrow, that's when this will all be done tomorrow.
Okay,
Okay. Then I have some other little bits in here. Invoicing. We just talked about the invoicing. We'll send you an invoice via email, whatever your choice
Yeah.
is. Now here's a very important thing. If the owner supplies the parts, the owner is responsible for the warranty of the parts. So that's very important to understand. So if something happens to the part that is defective after it's installed, the owner pays for it to be redone. If I purchase all the parts and there's a defect, I come back and replace all the parts at my cost.
yeah,
If at any time after the project, for example, we start it's not necessarily in your project, but in a bigger project, if I was to retake all the parts, you say, oh, I changed my mind, I don't want to do it, I would have like a restocking fee for certain amounts, and that's written right in the contract here. But hold on to that. There's another thing that's going to come up here right away. Payment terms, we accept checks, MasterCard, Visa, cash, internet transfer. It doesn't matter to us because the government gets all the money anyways. I just discussed the warranty with you. We have other special offers we can offer you, like if you wanted your smoke detectors looked at to make sure they're valid dates, carbon monoxide, we do snow removal, we do lawn care, we look fire extinguishers, submersible pumps, roofing, flooring, renovations, and handyman service. That's what we're doing right here. Now, this is the buyer's right to cancel, which also is affected by this right here when we talk about administration fees. If within after you sign off on the contract and you get the contract in hand, not that I send it to you in mail, then after that you got 10 days to make up your mind whether you want to follow in the contract. So you might say, I'll read it word for word because it's a little bit better. You may cancel this contract from the day you enter the contract until 10 days after you receive a copy of the contract, which I just said. You do not need a reason to cancel.
okay. So that includes when I receive a copy of the contract, that could either be a mailed copy or an emailed copy. Is that correct?
Yeah, anything.
Yes, okay, that's fine.
But you'll actually have a copy today when we do it.
Okay.
If you do not receive the goods and services within 30 days of the contract stated in the contract, you may cancel the contract within 1 year of the contract date. Never understand those words, but that's what it says. You lose the right to accept delivery after the 30 days.
Okay.
There are other grounds for extended cancellation. For information, you may contact your provincial, territorial, consumer affairs office. If you cancel this contract, the seller has 15 days to refund your money and any trade-in or cash value of the trade-in. You must return the goods.
By the goods, you mean like if it was the taps and so on? Okay. Fine.
The cancel, you must give notice of cancellation at the address in this contract. You must give notice of cancellation by the method that will allow you to prove that you have given notice, including registered mail or by personal delivery.
Okay.
So do you understand that?
Yes, but now, if I was, say I was to invoke that, if I sent an email to your,
It's good.
that's something that would prove that
But-
I had,
but I would also follow that up if you send an email, because sometimes emails go into spam.
Yeah.
So there'd be no proof that you really sent it, because they'd have no proof that they received it.
Right. Okay, good. So follow up with a written.
Or no, just a quick phone call.
Okay.
Even if you don't like them. Okay. After this, we have an acceptance of work performed. This is where we do our inspection, our quality control check. So we sign off, you as a client sign off, and we have a date in here. So I also put in a little bit of other things that we've done through the years. A whole list, everything from fire extinguisher replacement to smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors, anything you could think of, basic general handyman work we've put in here. I put in a little history just for you can read about different things that I've done. I built my first house when I was 27. I built a shop when I was about 35. We can be found on Better Business Bureau, Google, Facebook, YouTube. I leave my email address, my phone number, and this is a place where you can sign that you have read this information at a date, and you just sign it off. I sign it off, you sign it off, that you have read the information. So that's our basic process.
Okay.
So I hopefully you understand end to end of the contract that you have rights, that if you decide after you sign it, you have 10 days to reject it.
Okay, I understand that.
Okay, perfect. Okay, thanks very much. And I shall turn this off now. I hope you like the short little videos we put here to explain how our contract process works here at DDCL. I can be reached at Daniel, DANIEL, at ddcl.ca. Phone number 587-597-4228. We can also be reached on Google, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Follow us and like us, and we'll keep on putting out content. Thank you very much.